Thought it would be fun to review Luke Belmar's YouTube channel. Actually, this is not his YouTube channel. It's the Capital Club community. Apparently, it's run by somebody else, but the person says that he got approved by Luke. So, anyways, let's take a look at their slogan. Sign up because you haven't yet. This is really, really, really a poor slogan. Like, it's a waste of a slogan, but that's just my opinion. You're supposed to mention a benefit, an incredible benefit for people to join Capital Club. Just to say that because you haven't yet, I mean, that's suboptimal to be charitable. Let's take a look at some of the videos on Luke, Crypto Success. I have Bitcoin. I really recommend that people buy Bitcoin maybe at the end of this year when it's going to dip. I don't know. But that's the currency of the future. Not much to say about that. Unlocking wealth secrets. Now, as usual, this is clickbait. You know, the people who are watching these videos, probably young men who are financially struggling or broke. I mean, to talk about unlocking wealth secrets, I mean, that's just over the top. I think that it was Jim Rohn who said that first master the basics. Don't go for the exotic. So there's a lot of YouTube video titles that talk about wealth and secrets. You know, most people are not even at the level where they know what to do with a so-called wealth secret. Like they need to work hard, they need to work smart to make money. Once you have the money, then maybe you can learn how to invest, and you might benefit from wealth secrets, those exotic. And anyways, whenever I see the word secret, a red flag goes up because the knowledge is readily available online, especially in bookstores. It's just that people don't take the time to learn, and therefore, you know, these guys like Luke and Andrew Tate, they're sharing or quote unquote teaching these secrets. It's just that it's not secret. It's just that people are just way too lazy to go to the bookstore or the local library where you can borrow books for free, or even go on archive.org where you can read all the ebooks that you want, for free. So there's no secret, guys. Okay, just learn the basic skills for adding or creating value and sell that value. It's really that simple. AI revolution. Now, the funny thing is that Luke said in an interview that he was talking to a high level executive or person at OpenAI, and the person told him, don't start an AI company, start an AI proof company. So, based on that advice, Luke concluded that there are two things that AI will not likely be able to do. Number one, it's not going to be able to create a community, which is probably the reason why he's creating Capital Club. And number two, actually, I forgot number two, but anyways, my point is that Luke has a good strategy. He wants to create a community where like-minded people, apparently the members of Capital Club have a net worth of at least $1 million. So it's very unlikely that AI is going to be able to create that kind of community. It can facilitate the creation of a community. So for example, I could use AI to create a community that would compete against Luke's community. So that's what he should be watching for. But personally, I would recommend that people who know how to use a computer, especially a Windows computer, I would recommend that you learn programming, because then you're going to be able to create an AI powered company. You can try to create an AI proof company, but the problem with AI proof companies is that you have to spend a lot of time. Like Luke has to spend time creating this content. But with my AI companies, I just set it and forget it. The AI is going to work for me 24 hours a day. I could be generating passive income. I don't have to work. So his strategy is good if you intend to keep working. But if you want to live your dream life and you just want to travel and go on vacation cruises, then you want the AI to work. You don't want to work, because if you have an AI proof company, then you have to work in that company, right? But if you have an AI company, then you don't have to work. The AI is going to do the work. I mean, you might have to check in once in a while and maybe work an hour per week or 10 minutes per day. to monitor what the AI is doing, but it's better to create an AI company. That's my opinion. Okay, Money Talk exposes the hidden cost. Now, the thing I disagree with Andrew Tate and Luke Belmar is that they talk about exposing the frauds and the matrix and the financial institutions like Vanguard and BlackRock. I mean, my take is, who cares? Okay, they do what they have to do. You do what you have to do. There's no point in trying to fight the elite. I mean, Andrew Tate is trying to fight the elite, and he's in jail. I mean, he spent time in jail. That's time that he will never get back. That's stress and anxiety that's going to be permanently imprinted upon his mind. It's spending time in jail, like even for a month. It's not something that you want to do. So I hope that people learned from Andrew Tate's journey. He doesn't seem to have learned from it, but I hope people learn that there's no point in trying to criticize what other people are doing. I mean, this is a world of free will, right? They're doing what they're doing because it's in their financial interest to do so. So you can criticize them, you can blame them, you can point your finger at them, but it's not going to help you, your bank account, or it's not going to make you any happier. But of course, it's going to attract a lot of clicks. That's bait clicks. So that video with the title Luke Belmar exposes hidden costs, that's just clickbait. How to use drugs to your advantage. Okay, build a wealth before it's too late. It is never too late, because when you get to a certain point of your spiritual journey, you understand that there is no future, there's no past, there's no such thing as too late. There's just now. If you want to get rich, you can get rich now by changing your mind, changing your thoughts, your beliefs. And you can always start now. If you don't start now, in the next moment you have an opportunity to start again. It's never going to be too late. There's no such thing as too late. Because and get rich fast. You can get rich fast, or you can get rich slow. For me, getting rich or embarking on my journey of financial liberation, it's like eating ice cream. Why would you want to eat ice cream fast? Why do you want to make love fast? Why do you want to enjoy something and get it done fast? It's really a journey. So get rich fast already, it raises red flag in my mind, because it's not about speed. It's not about doing something before it's too late. That kind of panicky or anxious or stressful kind of attitude is not where you want to be. You want to stay calm, and you want to tell yourself everything is proceeding according to its own timetable, and you just have to be aware of what you're currently doing and take responsibility, and everything will come to you at the right time. There's no need to rush, there's no need to hurry. It's really how you want to live. If you want to become wealthy like Luke, then you can just watch his videos and you can just take notes. Don't forget to take notes, and you can learn from him, and you can implement a lot of things that Luke is recommending. For example, in one video, a recent video, he was saying that he often talks to himself, like he's able to coach himself, and it's not hard. You just have to start doing it. It might feel weird at the beginning, but here's what Luke is saying. He's saying, okay, Luke, like he actually calls himself. He said, okay, Luke, you don't want to buy real estate. Why? And then he answers. He said, well, because real estate, I don't want to be tied to things, that are like brick and mortar. And then, okay, Luke, but why don't you want to be tied to real estate? And then he responds, well, because I want to travel light. I don't want to have the burden of responsibility. I don't want to take care of a building and tenants and all that stuff. So what he's teaching in that scenario is very powerful. It's probably the most powerful thing that he ever shared. And it's not a thing. It's actually a practice that you can easily do right now. A lot of the other things he says, I've heard before. And it's just a truthful statement. And that's why you have a lot of people following him on social media. But when someone, even a very exceptional person like Luke, when someone says something that opens your mind to a new possibility, that's great. But you want to learn an actual technique, an actual habit, an actual hack from a teacher so that you can actually apply that hack and you can see for yourself if it works. I've been talking to myself, actually writing to myself also, and acting as my own coach for years now, and it really works. Like the minute you write to yourself, like I in a notebook, I would write something like Peter, comma, and then I would say something or I would ask a question. The minute you say that, suddenly you become instantly aware of yourself. So that's it's like a Jedi mind trick, right? When you talk to yourself, you become aware of what you're thinking, what you're saying, what you're doing. And you can also take responsibility for what you're thinking, what you're saying, what you're doing. So it's very important. That's the best thing that the Luke is teaching his followers. I dare you to be different. That's true. He raised a good point about Elon Musk controlling Starlink, electric vehicles, Twitter. I mean, it's very insightful of Luke to point out that he does like Elon Musk, but he also says, and I quote, "But the motherfucker is just controlling too many things," and he shows that he's wise. He's not a blind follower of Elon Musk like so many people. Andrew Tate and Tristan. So a lot of people accuse Luke of being a carbon copy of Andrew Tate. I don't think so. I think that he is modeling his business, Capital Club, after the War Room, which is a membership site by Andrew Tate. And Tate says he has about 2,000 members and 600 of them are millionaires. So yeah, it's a good strategy to copy what other people have done that is successful. But Capital Club, from what I've seen, it's quite different from the War Room. For one thing, it's not based so much on testosterone. It's not about getting together into a gym and punching each other out, which is really crazy. Andrew Tate is a little bit over the top, but I'm not judging Andrew Tate or Tristan Tate or Luke Belmar. I'm just saying my reaction and whether I resonate or not with what they're saying and what they're doing. But they are like fellow human beings who are on earth, and they have the right, like I do, to live life on their own terms. So I'm not saying at all that Andrew Tate is bad or he's doing something illegal, because if he does, then the Justice Department will take care of it. That's not really my job. And this goes back to what I said earlier. There's no point in criticizing other people, or you should not try to expose the crimes or the frauds of other people, because you are not the FBI. It's not your job. When you talk about the apparently negative or unethical things that other people are doing, you're just wasting your time. Life is short, so just focus on what you want to do and everything will be fine. Resist the mind slave. I wouldn't say resist the mind slave, because if you read Nietzsche, he was a very powerful philosopher, probably the most exciting philosopher, and he's, I believe, the favorite philosopher of Jordan Peterson. He talked about the slave morality and the master morality. And the slave morality is, an example is Christians who believe so much in the Bible that they become intellectual slaves and even physical slaves, in the sense that they will do what the Bible tells them to do, and therefore they're too humble. They're not aggressive. They're like sheep, and so they have adopted the slave morality. The master morality is adopted by people who want to be the rulers and the movers and the shakers. They want to control their own lives. So they tend to be entrepreneurs, they tend to be leaders, they tend to be independent thinkers. So Luke is right. You have to be aware of the slave mind, but I wouldn't say resist the slave mind. I would just say create the mastermind. Start thinking and speaking and acting like a master, and you will soon have the life of a master, the wealth of a master. how they keep you enslaved. Once again, I would not criticize other people. I you know it, a better title would be how you can liberate yourself. So that is more positive and it's about you. But when you say how they keep you enslaved, I mean they have no power, and that's the thing that I wonder. Why is Luke talking about they and their power? They have no power. They can suggest that you do certain things. They can suggest that you eat certain processed foods that will actually harm your body. They can suggest, but you can always say no. I mean, you are the one who is picking up the unhealthy food at the supermarket. Nobody is putting that food in your bag and bringing it home to you, right? So nobody has power over you. Nobody is enslaving you. You are enslaving yourself. That's the truth. So I think that if Luke really wants to tell the truth, he would say something like how you enslave yourself by allowing other people's influences to influence your mind, your behavior. So this title is totally misleading because it makes the reader, the viewer feel that they, the advertisers, the supermarkets, the government, they are enslaving you and they keep you enslaved, but it's you. You have the power to enslave yourself, and therefore you have also the power to liberate yourself. Millionaire at 22. So like I said, I very much admire his achievement. Money can't buy these three things. Okay, the future of money, that's Bitcoin. The bot system. Now the funny thing about a lot of people, including Patrick Bet, forgot his name, but anyways, he's the founder of the Valuetainment YouTube channel, very popular channel. He's also against the school system. But the thing that a lot of these guys who are criticizing universities is that they're criticizing the container, and at the same time, people they're not criticizing the content. Like Mark Cuban, for example, has a business degree, and he recommends to people to go to business school, at least to learn accounting, which is a very useful discipline. It's very practical. So when they criticize schools, colleges, and universities, you have to remember that they're criticizing the format, the container. They're not criticizing the content, which is the knowledge that you're gaining from those colleges and universities. For example, I went to business schools, and I definitely would improve the format. Like 3 years is just too long. I could have learned everything in 6 months. I would criticize the format, the instructional design, but I wouldn't criticize the content. I learned a lot of things at McGill University, and I'm able to teach at a very high level, MBA level, because I have the knowledge. Luke Belmar and Andrew Tate would never be able to teach business the way that I teach, because they don't have the principles. They don't have the concepts, the frameworks, like Porter's 5 forces, value disciplines. They don't know anything about operations management, operations research, or management statistics. Maybe they know, maybe they learned here and there, but they wouldn't be able to teach it, which is fine. I'm not saying they have to teach those MBA concepts, but I'm saying that if you want to create a big corporation, something more complex than just an e-commerce website, which is what Luke has done, you need a lot of technical knowledge that you can learn in a real business school. So people have to take this video with a grain of salt. When they say the bot system, like the schools are creating robots, I mean they're exaggerating a little bit, but by and large I would agree with them that the school system is corrupt. So parents have to be careful, because their kids are basically indoctrinated starting in high school. They are indoctrinated to think in a certain way, to conform to society, not to cause trouble. And so parents have to be super careful. They have to teach their kids how to think independently, etc. Okay, fix your brain before it's too late. Is this the end of humanity? Once again, like, why is he so negative? There's no end to humanity. Once again, I think it's just a clickbait strategy. How long does it take? Doesn't matter. If you start right now, you will be on your way to becoming rich. That's what I'm teaching in the Alpha Links Facebook club. It doesn't matter how long it takes. If you start now, you're gonna head there. It's a little bit like going into an elevator, right? And some people press on the 10th floor. You press on the 20th floor. Somebody else is gonna press on the 50th floor. But you know that after you've pressed the button, and this button represents your financial thermostat, then you know that you will get to that floor. It's just that different people choose different floors, but you're going to be in the elevator. Okay, you know that you're going to get there. If you have a system and you have processes to make sure that you do what you have to do to achieve your financial goals, but it's not a matter of getting there fast. Like why does it matter how long it takes to get rich? It doesn't matter. You can be extremely rich right now if you adopt the right thinking, the right mindset, the right attitudes, and you learn the right skills. You can be well on your way to becoming rich. This is something I'm going to teach in a future video, which I call universe shifting technology. And universe shifting technology basically says that in this present moment, you're at a fork road. You can go one way or another way. And in every moment, you have a fork road. So you got to choose A or B, A or B, A or B. And as you make these choices one after the other, you will be creating a universe around you. This is quantum physics. You're going to be creating a universe around you that will show you that your net worth is increasing. Your net worth is increasing. So for example, tonight you have A, you go to YouTube and you learn something, or you go to a bookstore, you buy a book, or B, you stay home and you watch Netflix. Well, if you stay home and you watch Netflix, then that's universe B. And in that universe, I'm sorry, but your net worth is not going to increase. But if you go with option A and you go and you buy a business book, and I can recommend a couple of books for you, then your net worth, it will increase at some point. If you start implementing what you're learning from that book. So just by going to the bookstore, you are not just physically walking over to the bookstore, you are physically, and I really mean that, you are physically walking to a new universe. But if you stay home and you watch a Netflix movie, or if you go out for a drink with a friend and you just talk about things that don't matter, then when you're walking over to your friend's place or to a bar, you're actually walking over to another universe where your net worth is not changing. And in fact, your net worth might diminish, because if that kind of drinking evening becomes a habit, then you're heading towards that negative universe. Okay, so you got to be careful. Every moment, you have one now. You can always choose A or B. And if you choose A, you're always going to head toward a universe that is going to show you your net worth increasing. So it doesn't matter whether you're quote unquote rich or not. You're getting richer, right? So that's the important thing. It's not about being rich or not being rich. Everyone is a trillionaire. I'm going to talk about that in a future video. Like, biologically, you're a trillionaire. Nobody can recreate the body that you have, the eyes that you have, the arms, the legs, the nervous system that you have. That's $1 trillion system. So you're already a trillionaire. You're already rich. The question is, are you getting richer with every passing day? I mean, here I'm talking about financial wealth. I'm talking about net worth. Are you getting richer? And you're getting richer every day because you're doing the right things. And this is something that Luke says that I find very interesting and very insightful. He says,